the Herd Line News.
Well, Russell Wilson is the quarterback of the Seahawks.
Yeah. Pretty good.
He is their starter. He's pretty good. But that doesn't mean they wouldn't consider bringing in a high-profile backup. According to Jeremy Fowler, Seattle would reportedly be open to adding Cam Newton. They don't want to spend too much money on a second-string passer, but it is being put out there as a possibility, landing spot.
Makes no sense. First of all, Russell never gets hurt. He doesn't have to be prodded and poked.
He's very
durable.
Reliable, very durable. And that doesn't mean that you shouldn't have a strong backup. I think that every team should be planning to have a strong backup. I mean, Russell Wilson's position is completely secure. So bringing in Cam Newton, to me, is not going to push Russell Wilson. He's not somebody that needs extra motivation or a chip on his shoulder or some fire behind him to work harder. He does that on his own. So I don't think that that's the issue. It's just a matter of having a skilled backup. You never know what can happen. You want to have a backup there, not in a win-now situation, but they're certainly going to be competing for a championship this year. So, I mean, everyone saw what happened with the Eagles, having Nick Foles there. They won a Super Bowl. So I don't think that it's bad to have Cam Newton as a backup in that situation. I just don't think it's the right place for him. To me, it doesn't make... The place that makes the most sense is the place that's doing the least in regards to their backup quarterback situation, which is Pittsburgh.
Oh, he's a perfect fit. And he plays a lot like Big Ben.
He plays like Big Ben.
A lot of off script.
Their backup situation is not reliable.
It's not good enough to win that division.
A lot of times you'd never have an opportunity to see what you have in your backup quarterbacks because you don't want to. Well, last year you got to see exactly what you have in your backup quarterbacks in Pittsburgh. And again, in that situation, similar to the Seattle situation, there's no concern about Ben not being the starter. That's Ben Roethlisberger's team. Anything other than an injury is not going to remove Ben Roethlisberger from the starting position. It's not going to happen in Pittsburgh where they bring in Cam Newton as a backup and Ben has a couple bad games and the whole city starts turning on Ben Roethlisberger. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
So it would be a great situation if Cam Newton does end up having to be a backup to go to Pittsburgh. But Pittsburgh seems very secure in Mason Rudolph and Duck Hodges. They must have been watching a different season last year. So the Cowboys have until July 15th to get a long-term deal done with Dak Prescott. So about 2 months from now. Otherwise, he has to play under the franchise tag. And Donovan McNabb believes there could be a problem in Dallas if they can't get Dak signed before any other quarterback gets their big deal.
Pay the man. Because I'm going to tell you one thing. You franchise him, then all of a sudden he say he has a half of Jameis Winston's season, and y'all make it to the NFC Championship game or the second round of playoffs. And he passed for 5,000 yards and 35 touchdowns and maybe about 12 to 13 picks. You know how much money he's going to ask for? You think it's a problem now? It's gonna be a major problem if Deshaun Watson or Patrick Mahomes sign their contract.
Well, that's the best case scenario.
Right. Like in that situation, you're kind of happy to pay Dak Prescott, right?
Well, of course. Yeah, if he throws for 38 touchdowns and has 9 picks.
Then you're like, yes, we got Mike McCarthy.
Yeah, it was a Jason Garrett issue. It wasn't a Dak issue.
Right. So, but again, I mean, I don't think that they want that, obviously, but they still would like to have a reasonable contract with Dak Prescott. But that's kind of his point. Like, if they happen to get a contract done with him sooner, and then he has that season, well, then you're in the absolute best case scenario because you wouldn't have to pay him Deshaun Watson or Patrick Mahomes money. You have him under contract, and he still has a great season. But again, the contract conversation will never end. And you know what? If they franchise tag him, we get another year of this fun stuff. So Tom Brady and Peyton Manning are teaming up with Phil Mickelson and Tiger Woods for a charity golf match on May 24th.
Yeah.
Brady typically got the best of Manning during their football careers, and when he was asked if he was sick of beating Peyton, he said, "No, are you kidding me? Eli's the one that I'm actually happy I'm not playing." So a little humor out there, Eli getting the best of them in 2 Super Bowls.
I would think, I didn't know Brady was a huge golfer.
I didn't know he was. I feel like I knew he golfed. I don't know that he was a huge
Aaron
golfer.
Rodgers golfs. That I know. Aaron Rodgers is a golfer.
Does he?
Yeah, I think Alex Smith was a little bit of a golfer. Aaron Rodgers was a golfer.
Most football guys are golfers.
Are they?
You're not a big golfer, right?
I'm a tennis player. I'll hit golf balls, but I just don't have 5 hours of time, and I'm not going to join an expensive.
I tried to learn how to play golf.
You got to have a lot of patience. And
I have zero patience.
Yeah, tennis is great. I play for an hour. I get a good sweat. I go have a beer, shower, I'm done.
Tennis, the only thing that worries me about tennis is the knees.
Yes, no, it bangs your knees up. You're playing on concrete, yeah.
Peyton Clayton will team up with Tiger Woods against Brady and Phil Mickelson at the match Champions for Charity, and it will be raising $10 million for COVID-19 relief. And, of course, it will be played without fans in attendance.
Joy with the news.
Well, that's the news.
And thanks for stopping by.
The